Opening scene, close-up of the host touching their scalp, then smiling confidently. I used to wake up every morning dreading the mirror. Watching my hairline creep back year after year, it felt like losing a part of myself. I tried it all, shampoos, supplements, promises in a bottle, but nothing worked. Then one day, I stumbled on something that changed everything. No drugs, no surgery. Just one simple approach that not only stopped my hair from falling out, but helped me regrow it. And before you think this is too good to be true, stay with me, because in this video I'm breaking down exactly how I did it, step by step, what worked, what didn't, and the real science behind why this method works when everything else fails. By the end, you'll understand how to reactivate your dormant hair follicles naturally, and maybe even feel confident running your fingers through your hair again. So, if you've ever looked in the mirror and thought, it's too late for me, trust me, it's not. Let's dive in. The real reason you're losing hair, and it's not what you think. Most people believe hair loss is all about genetics. If your dad went bald, you will too. That's what I used to tell myself. Until I learned that's only a tiny piece of the story. See, for years I thought I was doomed by my DNA. I watched my hairline fade in the mirror, feeling powerless, as if it was written in stone. But here's the truth. Your genes might load the gun, but your lifestyle pulls the trigger. Let me explain. Hair loss doesn't start on your scalp. It starts inside your body, in the invisible balance of hormones, nutrients, and oxygen that feed your hair follicles. Every strand of hair grows from a tiny factory under your skin called a follicle. It's alive. It breathes. It needs energy. But when that factory runs out of fuel, or worse, gets suffocated, hair stops growing. And that's what happened to me. My follicles were literally starving. The villain here isn't just age or bad luck. It's something much sneakier. Something most people have and don't even realize. Insulin resistance. Yep. The same metabolic issue that leads to fatigue. Weight gain and brain fog also messes with your hair. When your cells stop responding properly to insulin, it throws your hormones completely out of balance. Testosterone turns into DHT, a more aggressive version that shrinks your hair follicles, cuts off their oxygen supply, and eventually kills them off. That's why you see shiny, smooth skin where hair used to be. It's not just balding. It's scar tissue formed by years of inflammation and oxygen loss. So when people say, it's just genetics, I can't help but smile now. Because yes, genes play a role, but the real cause is how your body's chemistry reacts to modern habits. Too much sugar, chronic stress, poor sleep, processed foods, and constant inflammation. I remember when this clicked for me. I was scrolling through yet another article on miracle shampoos when one small medical study stopped me cold. It said that men with insulin resistance were twice as likely to suffer from early hair loss, and that restoring insulin sensitivity could help reactivate dormant follicles. That was my aha moment. I didn't need a prescription. I needed to fix the environment my hair was living in. Think of your scalp like a garden. You can't grow anything in dry, toxic soil, no matter how many seeds you plant. You have to heal the soil first. That's when the roots can come back to life. Once I shifted my focus from treating the symptom, hair loss, to healing the cause, inflammation, hormones, oxygen flow, everything changed. And in the next chapter, I'll show you exactly how I did that. Starting with the one thing that reawakens dead follicles and literally brings your scalp back to life. Stick with me, because this is where the transformation really begins. How I reactivated dormant follicles. Naturally, the secret most people ignore. When I realized my hair loss wasn't just genetic, that it was something I could actually influence, I went down a rabbit hole of research. I watched countless interviews with doctors, read medical journals, even joined online communities of people experimenting with natural regrowth methods. And here's what shocked me the most. Almost everyone was focusing on products, shampoos, pills, oils, but no one was addressing the one thing that truly matters, the follicle environment. See, your scalp isn't just a patch of skin, it's a living ecosystem. Every follicle is like a tiny garden bed that needs oxygen, nutrients, and circulation. But when the scalp becomes inflamed, clogged, or scarred, that environment turns toxic. The follicle goes to sleep and your hair stops growing. Now here's the crazy part. Those dead follicles, in most cases, they're not actually dead. They're dormant. And just like a plant that hasn't been watered in months with the right conditions, they can wake up again. That's where I made my biggest discovery. I learned that two simple, non-invasive therapies can literally reboot your scalp's ecosystem: microneedling and red light therapy. Let's start with microneedling. It sounds intense, but it's actually one of the safest, most effective ways to bring life back to your scalp. Imagine aerating the soil in a dry garden. You poke tiny holes so air and water can get in, right? That's exactly what microneedling does to your scalp. Those micropunctures stimulate healing, increase blood flow, and signal your body to produce new collagen. More importantly, they wake up stem cells that were sitting dormant around your hair follicles. That's when I started noticing small, soft hairs appearing where my scalp used to be completely smooth. But microneedling was just one piece of the puzzle. The second therapy that changed everything for me was red light therapy, also called low-level laser therapy or near-infrared therapy. I know it sounds futuristic, but it's backed by real science. Studies show that specific wavelengths of light, usually between 630 and 850 nanometers, can penetrate your scalp and actually recharge the mitochondria inside your follicle cells. Think of mitochondria as your hair's batteries. When they're drained, growth stops. Red light recharges them, giving those follicles the energy they need to produce strong, healthy hair again. I combined both therapies, microneedling twice a week and red light sessions every other day, and within 2 months, my scalp felt alive again. The dull, tight feeling I'd had for years disappeared. My circulation improved, and those thin, wispy baby hairs started thickening. Here's the key. I didn't use any drugs, no minoxidil, no finasteride, just mechanical stimulation and light. It's completely natural yet powerful enough to reactivate growth where it had stopped for years, and that's when I realized something even bigger. Regrowing hair isn't just about treating the outside. You can't fix a dying tree by painting its bark. You need to feed the roots from within. So in the next chapter, I'm going to show you how I nourished my follicles from the inside out, using specific nutrients and foods that supercharge growth, balance hormones, and make sure the new hair that grows actually stays. You don't want to miss this part, because this is where your hair starts thriving again, not just surviving. Feeding the follicles. The foods that make hair grow back stronger once my scalp started waking up. I knew it was time to feed the roots from within. Because no matter how much you stimulate the surface, if your body doesn't have the right nutrients, your follicles will never have the power to grow new, strong hair. Think of it like this. You can water a plant all day long, but if the soil has no minerals, nothing grows. That's exactly how our follicles work. So I started studying what nutrients actually fuel hair growth, and which ones most people are missing without even realizing it. What I discovered completely changed my approach to food. Let's start with the two powerhouses, vitamin D and zinc. Vitamin D is like sunlight for your follicles. It wakes up dormant stem cells and tells them to start producing new strands. Without it, your hair can't even enter the growth phase. The problem? Almost everyone today is deficient, even people who spend time outside. I started taking 10,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily, and within weeks, I noticed more density and faster regrowth. Then there's zinc. If vitamin D is the light, zinc is the spark plug. It supports the enzymes that repair follicle tissue, reduces inflammation, and helps balance hormones that trigger DHT. I made sure to get at least 30-40 milligrams of zinc every day, either from supplements or from foods like pumpkin seeds, grass-fed beef, and shellfish. But that wasn't all. I learned about a few natural DHT inhibitors, things that lower that hair-killing hormone without the nasty side effects of medication. Pumpkin seed oil, for example, is one of nature's best. It contains compounds that block the same enzyme, 5-alpha reductase, that finasteride targets, but it does it gently. naturally and without harming your libido. Then there's saw palmetto, peppermint oil, and green tea extract, EGCG, all of which help reduce inflammation in the scalp and keep that follicle environment clean and active. But maybe the biggest surprise of all was how food itself could become a therapy. So, I built what I now call my hair regrowth plate, a simple meal packed with everything your follicles crave. Here's what it looks like. Grass-fed liver. I know it sounds strange, but it's a powerhouse. It's rich in heme iron, zinc, copper, and selenium, all crucial for healthy hair growth. Caramelized onions, not just for flavor, but for quercetin, a powerful antioxidant that reduces inflammation and protects hair cells. Sauerkraut, fermented cabbage that's loaded with vitamin C and probiotics. It strengthens your gut, and your gut health directly affects how well you absorb nutrients for hair growth. Pumpkin seeds, packed with magnesium, iron, and natural DHT-blocking compounds. When I started eating like this consistently, something amazing happened. My hair stopped falling out completely. My nails got stronger. My energy levels went up. My skin even looked clearer. It was as if my entire body was shifting into rebuild mode. And that's when I realized hair regrowth isn't just about vanity, it's a reflection of internal health. When your body is nourished, your hair becomes the proof. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, that's great, but how do I make all this part of my routine without going crazy? Don't worry. In the next chapter, I'm going to break down exactly how I built my daily routine, the habits, timing, and simple tweaks that made all of this sustainable and automatic. Because hair regrowth isn't a one-time event, it's a process. And once you understand the rhythm, it becomes effortless. My daily routine for hair regrowth. What I do. Morning to night. Versão em inglês nativo dos IE. Once I had the knowledge, the why behind hair loss and the tools to reverse it, it was time to turn it into a routine. Because consistency is what separates people who see real results from those who just watch videos and hope for change. Let me walk you through what an average day looks like for me. From the moment I wake up to the time I go to bed. Morning, setting the foundation. The first thing I do every morning and before coffee, before checking my phone, is drink a big glass of water with a pinch of sea salt and a squeeze of lemon. It might sound simple, but hydration and trace minerals are crucial for circulation and oxygen delivery, the very things your hair follicles rely on. Then, I step outside and get 10 to 15 minutes of sunlight. That natural light kickstarts vitamin D production, resets my circadian rhythm, and primes my body for hormone balance throughout the day. Right after that, I take my supplements, 10,000 IU of vitamin D3, 30 mg of zinc, and 1 capsule of pumpkin seed oil. I always take them after a small protein-based breakfast, usually eggs, sauerkraut, and avocado. This combo helps stabilize blood sugar, which keeps insulin levels low. Remember, that's one of the key triggers for DHT production. Before I head into my workday, I do a quick 5-minute scalp massage. Just using my fingertips, I gently move the skin in circular motions, not rubbing the hair but actually shifting the scalp. This stimulates microcirculation and keeps oxygen flowing to the follicles. It's like giving my scalp a wake-up call. Hey, it's time to grow! Midday, feeding and flow around lunchtime, I focus on meals that nourish from the inside out. My go-to meal? The hair regrowth plate I mentioned earlier. Grass-fed liver, caramelized onions, sauerkraut, and pumpkin seeds. Sometimes I'll add a small salad with olive oil for healthy fats. And here's something I learned the hard way. Stress kills hair growth. So instead of eating in a rush or scrolling my phone, I eat mindfully, slowly, and with deep breaths between bites. This might sound unrelated, but digestion is everything. When you're relaxed, your body absorbs nutrients 30 to 40% more efficiently, and that directly affects how your hair grows. After lunch, I take a short walk outside. Movement helps balance insulin and improves blood flow to the scalp. Evening, reactivating the scalp. This is my favorite part of the day, my scalp therapy ritual. I start by washing my hair gently with a natural shampoo, free of sulfates and parabens. Once my scalp is clean, I use a microneedling roller with 0.5 mm needles, just enough to stimulate, not to cause pain or bleeding. I roll it gently over my scalp for about 5 minutes, focusing on the areas where hair was thinning the most. Right after microneedling, I apply a few drops of rosemary oil mixed with a carrier oil, usually jojoba or coconut oil. The microneedling opens up microchannels in the scalp, allowing the oil's phytonutrients to penetrate deeply. Rosemary oil not only improves circulation but also protects the mitochondria in your follicle cells. Then comes the game changer, red light therapy. I put on my red light cap for about 10 minutes. The light feels warm but relaxing, almost meditative. It's during this time that I usually reflect, listen to calming music, or visualize my scalp healing and regenerating. Sounds cheesy, but mindset plays a huge role. Your body listens to your thoughts more than you think. After finishing, I leave the oil in overnight. It keeps the scalp hydrated and allows the nutrients to work while I sleep. Night, recovery, and growth. Mode sleep is the unsung hero of hair regrowth. That's when growth hormones peak and the body repairs itself. I make sure to go to bed at the same time every night, keep my room dark and cool, and avoid screens an hour before sleep. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Hair doesn't grow during the hustle. It grows during the rest. Within 3 months of doing this routine, I noticed something incredible. Not only had my hair stopped falling out, but new growth started appearing along my temples and crown, areas I hadn't seen hair in years. My barber even commented, "Dude, what are you doing differently?" And that's when I knew this wasn't luck. This was biology. In the next chapter, I'll share the mindset shift that made it all possible. The part no one talks about, but that determines whether you stick to this or quit halfway through. Because consistency doesn't come from motivation, it comes from identity. The mindset shift that made it all work, and why most people fail. I need to be honest with you. The hardest part of regrowing my hair wasn't the science. It wasn't the diet, the microneedling, or even the red light therapy. It was my mindset. See, when you've been losing hair for years, you start to internalize it. You begin to believe it's just who you are now, that this is your look, and nothing will ever change. I used to joke about it with friends, pretend it didn't bother me, but deep down, every time I saw myself under harsh bathroom light, it hurt. And that's where most people fail. Not because they don't have the right information, but because they don't believe it's possible for them. So, before any real change happened, I had to rewrite my story. I stopped saying, "I'm bald," and started saying, "My hair is healing." It sounds small, but those words shifted everything. I began treating my scalp not like something broken, but like something that just needed care. I stopped punishing my reflection and started investing in it. When I missed a routine day, I didn't spiral into guilt. I just picked it up again the next day. That's the key. Consistency over perfection. Here's something no one tells you. Hair regrowth is slow. It's not like one of those dramatic before and after photos you see online. For the first month, nothing seems to happen. Then, one morning, you wake up, look closely in the mirror, and see tiny, soft baby hairs catching the light. It's subtle, but it's there. That moment, that quiet victory, is when you realize it's working. And from that point on, you're unstoppable. Because now it's not about hoping it works. It's about trusting the process. Every time you roll that microneedle, every time you take that supplement or apply that oil, you're sending your body a message. I'm healing. I'm coming back. And here's the truth. Your body listens. Your scalp responds to energy, to patience, to consistency. That's biology, yes, but it's also belief. And belief is what separates the few who make it from the many who give up. I often tell people, don't chase hair growth, chase health. Because when you heal your body, your hair simply follows. And that's the ultimate mindset shift. Once I started focusing on becoming the kind of person who takes care of himself, not the guy desperately trying to fix himself. Everything changed. Hair growth stopped being my goal. It became the side effect of living right. And that's when I finally understood. This journey wasn't about getting my hair back. It was about getting myself back. So if you're watching this and you've tried everything and you're about to give up, don't. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience, and if you stay with me through the last chapter, I'll show you how to tie everything together. The habits, the nutrition, the mindset, into one simple, sustainable plan you can start today. Because this isn't a temporary fix, it's a transformation. The complete hair regrowth blueprint, step-by-step summary. My final thoughts. So now you know my full story. Not just how I regrew my hair, but how I rebuilt my confidence, my health, and honestly, my life. But let's break everything down so you can start today. Because this isn't magic. It's a system. A simple, natural process that anyone can follow. No drugs, no surgery, no side effects. Step 1. Fix the root. Cause hair loss doesn't start on your scalp. It starts inside your body. The real trigger is insulin resistance. When your cells stop responding properly to insulin, causing hormonal chaos that raises DHT levels. So, before you buy another shampoo or supplement, fix what's happening internally, cut back on refined carbs and sugars, eat whole, nutrient-rich foods. Prioritize sleep and stress management. Your hormones will start to balance, your inflammation will drop, and your follicles will finally have a chance to breathe again. Step 2. Reactivate the follicles. Once your internal health is improving, it's time to bring your scalp back to life. Use microneedling 1 to 2 times a week to gently stimulate stem cells and increase blood flow. Follow it with red light therapy between 630-850 mm wavelengths to recharge the mitochondria inside your follicle cells. And don't forget rosemary oil, nature's version of minoxidil. It boosts circulation, reduces inflammation, and helps protect your scalp from further damage. Step 3. Feed the growth nutrients are the building blocks of new hair. Focus on vitamin D3, 10,000 IU daily, zinc, 30 to 40 milligrams daily, pumpkin seed oil, a natural DHT inhibitor, whole foods like liver, onions, sauerkraut, and pumpkin seeds. Together, these give your follicles the tools they need to rebuild strong, thick, healthy hair. Step 4. Build the routine. None of this works unless you do it consistently. Here's what worked for me. Morning. Hydrate, sunlight, supplements, scalp massage. Afternoon. Whole food meals, mindful eating, movement. Evening. Microneedling. Rosemary oil, red light therapy, and solid sleep. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up, day after day, until your body gets the message. It's time to grow again. Step 5. Master the mindset. This one is everything. Because without belief, discipline fades. Don't chase instant results. Focus on progress. Remember, every small step, every habit, every quiet moment of care adds up. Your body is listening. And one day you'll wake up, look in the mirror, and realize, you did it. Final thoughts: when I started this journey, I thought I was chasing hair, but I was really chasing healing. And if you've watched this far, maybe you're ready to start your own. Don't wait for the perfect time. Start today, with what you have, right where you are. Because the truth is, your hair can grow back. Your confidence can grow back. You can grow back. If this video inspired you, helped you, or even gave you a little hope, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Leave a comment telling me where you're at in your journey. And subscribe to the channel. I've got more videos coming that dive deeper into scalp health, nutrition, and natural healing. And I'd love to have you with me on this journey. So don't give up. Stay consistent. And remember, your comeback story starts right here. Your comeback starts here. When I look back at where I started, those mornings staring in the mirror, wondering if I'd ever feel like myself again, I realized something powerful. Hair regrowth wasn't just about getting my hair back. It was about getting me back. It taught me patience, discipline, and belief. It showed me that healing isn't a miracle. It's a process. A process that anyone can start, no matter how far gone you think you are. If you've been struggling with hair loss, remember this. You're not broken. You're just out of balance. And balance can always be restored. Whether you start with the foods I mentioned, try microneedling, red light therapy, or simply begin taking care of your scalp. It all adds up. Small steps become habits. Habits become healing. And healing changes everything. So wherever you are in your journey, don't quit. Your body wants to recover. Your hair wants to grow. And your comeback story? It starts right now. Thank you for watching. And if this video helped you in any way, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this, because you never know whose confidence you might help rebuild.